one state, some place to be nobody, some place to be, some place you wouldn't know probably. Yeah.
Quick Robusta Island update out here on Lake Wiley. It's a new year, it's a new day, and right there is where I planted my Robusta experimental palm tree, and it's completely submerged this time of year. So that tells me my palm would have never made it anyways. And there are a lot of dead palms around town. The Livistona chinensis did the worst. I have quite a few spear pulls here in Tigakay. Even these Pindos that have been here for years got some damage. Shockingly, the Pindos. I've had a couple of Pindos die on me. Like, this spear almost looks like he's ready to come out. Oh, that's not a good sign. That's a terrible, terrible sign right there, because this Pindo has been here for a long time, and he really got damaged. That's a bad sign. I drove by and noticed how bad his new stuff was, and yeah, that's a spear pull. Not a mushy. Now there's mushy spear pulls, and then, oh man. Yeah, that's a bad sign. That's very unfortunate. But this one is in. Like, oh no, it's not. Oh, it's so bad. Guys, I think we lost a big Pindo here. In a bad spot. That's not good. Might have to replace it. I can do that. Let's put some fungicide in there and see what happens. Man, that's sad though. Because you can see this one, he's got beat up, but he survived. You can tell he's super damaged. But he survived. He ain't dead. But that one was in bad shape. We'll see if some fungicide will help. Stand by. This side doesn't look as bad, but you can definitely see the damage. Some of them took it better than others. This one appears to have almost no damage, but then this one and the one over there have a lot of damage. So I put some fungicide over there. I made me a little batch of fungicide. I'm gonna throw in this one, and I'll give this guy a little bit. But I think this one is perfectly fine. It's weird how some are perfectly fine and some are a lot more damaged. Weird. All right. We got what appears to be a dead Pindo. Big time. This one always struggled ever since I put it in, because there's a few other ones that did really good way over there. But anyways, this particular one never did recover from its first mildew problems. So it looks like a goner. I mean, we are completely dried out. But no spear pull. The spear is not pulling out, which is weird. So what I'm going to do is trim it up and take a good look at the spear. But no spear pull on this completely looking dead Pindo. So let's see what we're working with in there. Alright, so as terrible as this Pindo looks, I mean god awful, I pulled back the spear here, and what you find here, sorry my finger's way off, is actual green Pindoage. I can't see. Back up. There's very green Pindoage right there. I call it Pindoage. I know it's not the proper scientific word, but the spear is radiant, is what I would say. The spear is flawless right in there. It's hard to see with my little Samsung Galaxy logo on this side, but there's a nice spear in there. and it's not pulling. Okay, here we can pull this back. It's not pulling out. You see down in there? This is very nice. This is good to see right here. This solid niceness. And it's not pulling out as bad as it looks. So what we're gonna do is give it some time, give it some fungicide. I mean, it had a bunch of crap in here. This thing just had a hard time recovering. You could see how the things were all bunched up, like really bunched up and like cramming into each other, trying to get out of there. It just always had a problem with fungus. So that's why it's taking longer to recover. It hasn't even been here for a year. So we'll give it till February, March and see if this comes up and opens. And if not, it's dead and we're gonna replace it. So cross your fingers. This one just turned out so good. Flawless. I mean, it had this leaf on it when I first planted it, and now it's got all that. Zero damage from 13 degrees. And this thing was from Florida. So Sable Palmetto, I tell you, at this age, bricks. And here's the other Pindo. That had a little problem with fungus as well, but you can see how much better and greener and fuller it is than fuller, is that a word? More full than it is than the other. This Pindo turned out flawlessly. Nice green spear, lime green. This one was just so darn massive that I never really worried about it. The other ones were a little smaller, so they're taking a little longer. But this one, I cut off a few here that were burnt. Let's see how they were burnt. But overall, it's doing great. All its leaflets are still open. Yeah, very happy with this one. So's the customer, thank God, because there's plenty around that are dying. And yet again, here's another spear pole of the Livistona chinensis. This one was left in a pot outside, and we have completely lost our spears, so that's going to need to be replaced.